Today we are going to learn how we are going to declare a variable in Java. Actually, this is a Selenium class, so I don't want to go deep into the variable thing. So it is a simple thing how you will define a how you will declare a variable, how you will initiate a variable in Java. Okay, so actually, what is a variable? Variable, at the definition goes. Okay. The variable is an identifier whose values can be changed during the execution of the program. This means that we are using the data type. What actually this data type will do? Data type, I will be giving another video on the data type and all, or how many types of data types are there, all those things, and what is the memory that will be allocated for each and every data type. So actually, whenever I am saying that data type means by using data type, memory a specific amount of specific memory will be allocated in the main memory. So a specific space will be allocated in the main memory. So and we can store the value inside that memory location. But to retrieve that value or even to store that value in that memory location, we require a name to that memory location. Means the uh, some name which will be identified to identify that memory location. So in the same way, means suppose the constant is there or variable is there. Variable is nothing but such type of identifier which will identify that memory location where exactly we are going to store the value, and from where exactly we have to retrieve that value. Means the variable is a name given to the memory location where exactly the values are being stored, and the where exactly from where we are going to retrieve the values. So that's why the variable is an identifier. So identifier name, it identifies the location of the memory. That is the it is the name by which we can identify the specific location of the memory. Okay, so this is the definition of the variable. But in interview point of view, most of the people, they don't ask you about the definitions at all. The main important thing is how the variables are being declared and how you have to initiate, you can initiate or initialize the variables. Okay, um, going further, there are different means rules for creating a variable. Here, the first rule is each and every variable name's first letter must be an alphabet. Okay, okay, and we can also start with underscore. The first thing is that one, and the second rule is 1 second. The length of the variable should not exceed more than 32 characters. Okay, you should not use any special symbols or special characters as in the variable name. And underscore, as I told you, an underscore will be accepted, and along with that, we can also use the dollar. Then you should not use any keywords for as a variable name. Uh, Keywords means such as class, or you can't use new, means the words which are already being defined by the Java developers. Okay, those words we should not use it. Okay, we will see all those things. Okay, how to define a variable. Here I am using Eclipse. 1 second. Here I am using Eclipse for writing the code. Okay, here it is. I have already done the video on what is an Eclipse and how you have to create a project and all those things. Again, we will do the same thing. Okay, this is the project explorer player where actually I will create my project over here. Right click, new. projects, Java project. Next, here I will give some name or to my project. Project uh, variable. Some 1 second. Okay, I given some name to the project. Next, taking a bit time. Okay. Here I am using the default view, that is the Java EE view. I don't want to change my view or the perspective, so I am clicking on no here. Okay, here the project is been created. They are the jar files which are going to help me in my coding. Okay, and this is the source folder where exactly I have to write my code. After that, I am creating one module or the package. Right click on the source folder, new package. I'm giving some mod. I want to do my things in a systematic way, so I am okay creating a project structure over here. Okay, finish. So project has been created. In that I have created one module. In that I will be creating one class, new. Go to right click, new class. Okay. So there is certain naming convention for a class name, such as each and every means for each and every word first letter should be capital. So I am using class underscore var. Okay. Otherwise, okay. This is how class is one, var is one word. So each and every word first letter should be capital. Okay, I'm using the capital. That is the naming conventions which Java developers has given. Okay, I want a main function or a main method inside my class. So I'm clicking over here, public static void main. Finish. Okay. We got a module. In that we got a class. This is a class. Okay, and this is the method. Okay, now the main thing is how to create a variable. Okay, here I am not creating a variable inside the method. Okay, I am creating a variable outside the method. Okay, that is so that method can be used by that variable can be used by all the methods. Okay, so first, whenever I'm creating first I have to give the name to my variable. Suppose that serial number or S number. This is the name of the variable or the identifier. Okay, so semicolon. Then as we are learning, we have to go we should not go from right to or left to right. We have to go from right to left. Okay, that is a better way of learning while learning only. Okay, once you got everything, then you can go from left to right. This is the name of the variable that I am giving. Then we have to think, okay, this is the variable, and what type of data that this variable will be holding, or what type of data that I am going to store in this variable. Okay, so then suppose I will give you a separate video on the data types, but the common data type is int, so I am giving int, integer. Serial numbers will be integers. Okay, so this is the variable name and this is the type of data, and here I am giving the type of data that this variable will be holding, that is the data type. Okay, the data type that this variable will be holding. Depending on the data type only, the memory will be allocated. Okay, how many bytes it has to allocate, it depends upon this data type. Okay, in the later classes I will be explaining which data type will allocate how much memory. Okay, at present this video is about to means declaration of the variable and the initialization of the variables. So I am not going in that matter. Okay, so first we have to enter the variable name, then the type of data that the variable is can handle, and next thing we have to think that whether the value of this variable will be static or it will be changing from object to object. Okay, suppose that at present time I wanted to make, I don't want to create any object for calling the variable, so I wanted to make my variable as static, so I am keeping static. Okay, what is static and what is non-static means? Static means I don't, if the value of the variable is same for all the objects inside a class, that type of variable is known as static variable. Okay. Okay, now I want to make my variable as statics because I don't want to use don't want to use an object while calling the variable. Okay, so at present I wanted to make this as static. Okay, means this is we have to think in that way. This is the variable name. First I have given the variable name, then I, I have given the type of data that variable will be handling, and I am telling that the value of the variable will be same for all the objects inside the class. So I have kept static over here, and then I have to think that okay, this variable I wanted to use in my entire project or in my module or only in my class. So here I wanted to use this variable in my entire project, so I have to keep it as public. Okay, first what I have done, I have given a name to my variable, and I thought what is the type of data that this variable will be holding, and I have given the data type. Okay, depending on the data type only the memory allocation will be done in the main memory, and later uh, uh, means I have given static or non-static means I wanted to make my variable means the value of the variable I don't want will not be changing from object to object, so I have kept static over here. Okay, I will show you the dynamic thing also, but this is the static one. I wanted to make this variable as static, so I have given static over here. Then I wanted to use my variable my entire project, so I have kept public. If I don't want to means if I want to use my variable only in this class, then I have to write private. So at present I am not going deep into the access modifiers, so I give public. That will be good. Okay, and I will be taking the separate classes for these and these things, with static and non-static variables and the access modifiers. Means first I have to, while defining a variable, first I have to write the variable name, then the data type, then I have to mention whether it is static or non-static. If you are not mentioning static over here, it will be treated as non-static. Okay, I will tell you how to handle that non-static variables, and then the public means that I wanted to use this variable in my entire project. That's why I have written public. Okay, the detailed class will be taken from for access modifiers. Okay, no need to worry about it. Okay, at present this is how we will declare it. Okay, a variable. This is the only declaration. Suppose I wanted to initialize the variable. So if I want to initialize it, here I can initialize it. Well, declaration I can initialize it. Okay, 10. The serial number is S number is 10. Or I can do in the method level also. Okay, this is one way of initializing and defining a variable. Now this is okay, how we are initializing it. Then the question comes how to call this. Okay, you have to call in the method. You are using, I mean, method contains the logic. In that logic only we will use the variables. So uh, I wanted to print this one. Okay, suppose I wanted to print this one. What is the system.out.println is the method name. So the shortcut is syso. We got it, system.out. Okay, later we will be discussing what is system, what is out, what is println. Okay, println is the method. Okay, this is the method which is being developed by the Java developers. Okay, what is this system? System, S is capital, means this is a class. And what is a out, I will tell you. Okay, this may be a variable because here it is blue, so it may be a variable. And how it is a class, as per the naming convention. Sorry, this is a method. How it is a method? As per the naming convention. What is the naming convention of the method? The first letter of first word should be small, and the first letter of rest of the words should be capital. Here it is the same thing. The first letter of the first word, sorry, the first word, all the letters are small, and from the second word, the first letter should be capital. Okay, that is what is the naming convention. This is method how, you know, with the brackets also you can know it. Okay, anyhow, in that this will take the string values. What is the string? I wanted to print the uh, this 10 value, the value inside s number. So s number. So directly if you write this s number will be printed in the console. We'll check it, save it. How to run it? Run, control F11. Okay, 10 is being printed. Okay, we have defined a variable over here, we have initialized it, and you have used it in the method. Suppose that here I wanted to change it. Suppose s number is equal to 20. Then what is will be printed? Save it, run it, 20 will be printed. This is how we can change it. Otherwise, suppose the initialization is not done here. Okay, you can it can be done here also. Okay, it has been done over here. Okay, this is the two ways. One way is you define over here and you initialize over here. Initialization and defining is done in the same line. And here, if you want to initialize in the later methods, you can do that also. Okay, so this is how a static variable is being defined and it can be used in a method. But what about this non-static method, non-static variables? Okay, I will take another example, or this I will be writing it as 1. This will be 1, then this will be 1. Okay, it is okay with 1. Then what about, I will how to create a variable? Now I am creating a non-static variable. First you have to write the variable name s number 2 semicolon, then back, then so let it be integer only. Okay, uh, 1 second, s number 2. Okay, now I don't want to keep this variable as static. So I want to make this variable as a non-static. So if I am not writing this keyword static, then it will be taking it as non-static. So I am not writing the keyword static. Directly I am writing public. Okay. Here I have not written static means it is non-static. Means what is a non-static variable? The value of the variable will be changing from object to object inside a class. Okay, so this is one class. Okay, now I wanted to print the value over here. Suppose here, if at all you are not initializing it, what will be printed? 0 will be printed because integers default value will be, means in the memory location default value 0 will be stored. Okay, I will check it out. For string, null will be stored. Okay, I will be discussing in deep with the when I am teaching you about the data types. Okay, at present, how you will declare a variable, you are learning. So I will want to show you that 0 is printed. Okay, so this means that if at all you are not initializing the variable, anyhow it will be storing 0 in it. Okay, if int is a data type, if string is a data type, there is a different story. Okay, then now here I am initializing this s number 2 with 20. Okay, suppose the s number 1 is 10. Okay, here I am printing s number 1 as I will run it. 10 is printed because I am here, I am printing only s number 1. Suppose I wanted to print s number 2. So s number 2, if directly I am writing s number 2, it is showing the error message. What is that error message? See, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field s number 2. This means that s number 2 is a static variable, non-static variable, so directly you can't use s number 2 directly. So as the definition says that the value of this variable will be, it is non-static, means the value of this variable will be changing from object to object. Suppose that one second. Suppose if you are taking this as a class, okay, this is a class, and suppose these are the objects in this class. Each and every object in this class will have some variables as well as the methods. Okay, if I am saying that this method, this is a non-static method, so the value of this, sorry, this is a non-static variable, then the value of this variable will be changing from object to object. This object, the value will be changing. So if you're directly using this, it will not know, for which object this variable we are speaking about. So first what you have to do is directly you can't means use it. So we have to first say, we have to create an object first. Okay, and then we have to say that okay, this object I want I want the variable for this object. I have to give the reference over here. So first I have to create an object over here before using this. So now one second. Now I will be creating an object. Here I will be creating an object. How to create an object and what are the things I will tell you in depth in detail. First, listen. I will simply creating an object by using the keyword new. New is the keyword. When I am saying new means a memory will be allocated in the main memory, and here I have to give the class name. Class name is ClassVar. This is actually the default constructor. Okay, I will tell you all those things. First, I am writing new, and this is the class name with open and close brackets. This says that This is actually a default constructor. What is a default constructor? All those things I will be speaking you later about all those things. Means actually this default constructor will be created whenever we are creating a class. Whenever we are creating a class, this default constructor will be created. Okay. Here, when I am saying new, means a memory will be allocated inside the means. Suppose if I am saying new, what happens is suppose that 1 second. This is the memory. Suppose that this is a memory in that space will be allocated. New, if you are saying new, and whenever a default means when and all the what you called whenever this default constructor is being called, all the static and non-static variables and all the static and non-static methods will come inside this uh, memory space. Means here it will be what are the here s1 s number 1 second, s number 1, then um, s number 2, then the method main is a static method that will also be there inside it. Okay, all those non-static and static stuff will be stored inside this memory location. When I am saying new means a memory will be allocated, and when I am this default calling this default constructor, then all the static stuff and non-static stuff will be means comes in this memory means comes in this memory, and not only that, but it will be initialized with its default values. Here s number contains 10, so this will be allocated with 10 s. Sorry, is equal to is equal to 10, and here it will be allocated with 20. A bit 20, you understand, and in this way it happens. Okay, and for this to okay, we have created an object over here. This means that we have created a space. Object creation means creating a space. Okay, we have created an object inside the memory location, and this in this memory location all the variables static and non-static, most of the time most of the people says that only non-static stuff will comes inside this memory allocation, but static and non-static stuff will also be means if at all we can also call a non-static stuff static stuff. So according to my view, static and non-static stuff will comes into this memory location, and this way and the variables will be initialized with their default values. Here the default values are 10 and 20, so 10 and 20 will be stored in s number 1 and s number 2. But to get these values, this memory should be given some sort of name. So I will be giving here. So what I have to do is, okay, here if at all I am using new means a memory will be allocated. Whenever a default constructor is being called, these non-static and static stuff will be stored in the this memory, and it will be initialized with the default values. And to get these values I have to give some name. This is the object name. So I am giving object obj or name obj. This is one object. Okay, so this object is being created. Okay, but object is also a variable. Okay, so here it is showing an error message. Okay, you have created a variable, well and good, and you have initialized with some values over here, but you have not entered the data type. So this is an object which I am creating it, and this object will be having static stuff and non-static stuff. Means this object is having all the variables as well as the methods. This means that what is the data type that can handle methods as well as the all the variables. Means there is no method, no, but these all variables and methods are the data members or the methods are within this class. So class itself is a data type. So here we are giving the class name as the data type, because see, so this object is a variable of this class. Means this sorry, uh, wrongly I have told you, this object can handle all the static and non-static stuff of this class. Means this is the data type. Okay, so in this way we have to create an object. So this is one object. This is obj. One second. This is the obj1 that I have created. Means this is one object. This is obj1. Obj1. In the same way, this is one object, this is one object, this is one object. Okay, different objects. How many objects you wanted to get, you can create it. Okay, so this is obj1 that I have created. Now I am saying that okay, I wanted to print the value s and 1 of obj1. So I have to get right here. I can't simply write s12. I have to write obj1 dot. If I am giving dot, see here, what is it saying? This is the variable. It means this is the object. This object contains all those methods, all those variables, and all those methods. Okay, here it is showing it. And here, if you see, it is giving some help. Eclipse is giving some help over here. So here it is the s number 2 of integer type. And here, see, what is the class it belongs? Class var. The same way, clone. This is the method of the object. I am creating an object, object of a class, the object will get the properties of object class. Okay, object is the mother class of all the classes. So whenever I am creating an object, it will get all the methods and all the variables which are there in the object class. Okay, so this is the apart from the variables in my class, the methods of object class is also there, which we got from the object class. We can use that methods also. So this is s1, s12, and where is s12? Okay, s1 serial number here. See here, it is static. This is static. This means that we can access not only non-static but static stuff from the object. Okay, then where is my method? Main method. Main method is there or not? Okay, main method is there. This is also a static method. Okay, this means that, but now at present I wanted to s12. Okay, in this way a non-static stuff can be handled or can be retrieved. Or okay, if you want to use any non-static variables or non-static methods, we can use through the object reference only. Okay, without creating an object, without giving the object reference, we can't use the non-static variables. Okay, but static variables directly you are using it. Okay, here we have used it directly we have used it, but here for using this s number 2, we have to create an object. Okay, in deep I will be saying when I'm talking about the object over here, but this class is about the variable declaration and initialization. That's why uh, I'm not telling about the inside what is an object and all those things. But if you want to call, if you want to use a non-static variables, we have to create an object and we have to call this variable through that respect to object. Okay, I will run this program, run it. Why it is giving? Because I have not saved it. Okay, here it is started, then I have not saved it. Save and run it. Okay, 10 and 20 all been printed over here. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.